All right, so I did an earlier video on 4 ways that controlling behavior negatively impacts a relationship. There were a lot of questions about what exactly is controlling behavior. So in this video, we're gonna talk about 7 signs that you're in a controlling relationship. Because the reality is every relationship has power struggles. How you spend money, parenting styles, where you're going to eat, right? All of those cause opposing viewpoints to come into a conversation where one person's trying to exert influence on the other person. Now that's healthy in relationships, but it also crosses a line into which it's unhealthy and toxic and controlling. So in this video, 7 signs that you might be in a controlling relationship. That's today on Relation Shots. Welcome to Relation Shots. My name's Eric Wooten. If this is your first time hanging out with us, welcome to the place to get practical relationship advice that actually works in your relationship. If you've not already done so, go ahead and click the subscribe button and the bell notification so you don't miss upcoming videos. If you want a free guide to intimacy, check out the link in the description area below. If you're looking for a place to strengthen your marriage, join us, our community in the Altered Marriage Membership. Bunch of couples hanging out, watching videos, doing worksheets, strengthening a relationship. In a Facebook group, we do live Q&A on Zoom once a month. We're working on relationships. Come join us and hang out there. You can see the description area below for that as well. All right, without further ado, let's just jump in. 7 signs that you might be in a controlling relationship. Number 1, they don't want you hanging out with friends and family. Now, sometimes this is even subtle and not so obvious. The obvious you get, I don't want you hanging out with family. The subtle we sometimes miss, especially if it's sweet and comes across as caring. Things like, no, come on, I want you to stay here with me. Or why don't we do something just the 2 of us? And that's okay sometimes. But when that becomes the norm, not the exception, that person's trying to control who you're around, that's controlling behavior. Now that's unhealthy. Sign number 2, jealousy and accusations. Listen, people who are controlling are usually overly jealous and they love to accuse their partner of flirting and cheating with little or no evidence. Now, it might be their own insecurities and stuff from past relationships, but where it stems from, the root is irrelevant. The fact is, when they're jealous and they're accusing you, quite often, that's controlling behavior and that's not healthy in the relationship. Number 3 is excessive blaming. Yeah, see, controllers love to blame. They love to play the victim and then blame you for stuff that has nothing to do with you. So if you find yourself getting blamed often and you know in your heart of hearts that it really isn't your issue, that person is being controlling in the relationship. Number 4, they don't respect your privacy. Listen, controlling people have a tendency to want to know everything that's going on in your life. And as I've said in lots of other videos, if you're married, there is this combination of dependence and independence called interdependence in a relationship. But we do need some levels of independence, whether you're dating or married, especially if you're dating. But controlling people don't really like you to have independence. And so they want to get into all your stuff. So things like reading your text messages, checking your call logs, want to get in your email, they want to go through your stuff. They're not okay with not having access to certain areas of your life. Now, I do believe there's some level of privacy inherent even in a marriage relationship. I think that we should be open books to our spouses in a marriage relationship, but I also think we should give each other privacy. Listen, I do not want to get in my wife's diary and know her thoughts on any given day about how terrible of a person I am. Listen, I can't forget that, and that might just be a passing thought. Listen, I do not want to listen in on every conversation she has with one of her girlfriends. That's her own business, what she wants to talk about. So when somebody does not want to respect your privacy, that's controlling behavior. Sign number 5 is not accepting your reality. Listen, if you've heard of gaslighting or some of the manipulation techniques, controlling people want to make you question your reality and your experience. And so they won't tell you outright you're wrong, but they'll say things like, well, I'm sorry you feel that way, but that's your issue. Basically, that's not what I was trying to do to you, so if you feel a certain way and I wasn't trying to make you feel that certain way, then that's your issue and you need to figure that out. Or they make you question whether what you're feeling is really accurate or you should be feeling that. Hey, the reality is if you do X and when you do X, I feel Y, that's my reality. Maybe you weren't trying to do that, but it's okay for me to say, when you do X, I feel Y. And you can't try to convince me or excuse or try to argue me out of my experience and my reality. But controlling people will make you question your reality because it may not match with what they're trying to do in your life. So that's a controlling behavior. Number 6 is getting upset when you make plans without them. Like, they need to be informed of everything you're doing always because they don't really like you to have any level of independence. They always want to know where you are. And even when you tell them where you are, they often text and call you when you're out doing the thing that you told them you were going to be out doing because they don't like you to have independence. They want to control it. It's usually because of some kind of fear, but at the end of the day, that's controlling behavior. And number 7 is constant criticism. Controlling people at some point will use criticism as a tactic to try to get you to conform to what they want you to conform to. And so they will criticize how you look, what you wear, the things you do. They don't mind doing it in public in front of other people because that adds to some of the shame that you have, which makes you want to avoid it, which means you'll conform to the behavior that they're trying to get so they don't criticize you in front of other people. But at the end of the day, they think that criticizing you will be a way to keep you from doing the things that they don't want you to do, that fights against the fears that they may have in the relationship. Constant criticism is a controlling behavior. So for those of you that asked, what are controlling behaviors? There's 7 of them. We could probably list another 20, but hopefully that helps you recognize some things that are controlling and are not controlling. If you're in a relationship and you checked yes to a lot of these behaviors, you may want to second guess if it's a dating relationship, whether this is the person you're supposed to be with. If you're married, I'd say you need to probably make an appointment with a counselor to have somebody else expose and address some of these behaviors as unhealthy so you guys can work towards a healthy relationship. I'd love to hear your thoughts on maybe some other controlling behaviors that you've experienced, or if you're a self-aware, recognized controller, maybe some things you do that you're trying to work on not doing anymore, drop them in the comment section below. Again, if you need a place to strengthen your relationship, and we all do, join the community. I don't know what you are waiting for. We got some specials coming up for Black Friday, so check out the link in the description area below. And until next time, I'll see you right back here on Relation Shots.